Hey all, it's Nim or Nimicry if you're feeling professional, and welcome to the YouTube video. Now today we're going to be talking about video game diplomacy, or creating a shared cultural understanding through game design. An article in PC Gamer will go over this, but before we do, I want to mention, if you like the channel and what I produce, go ahead and subscribe. Now without further ado, let's get into it. U.S. State Department sponsors virtual exchange program for aspiring game developers. The game exchange program will bring together teenagers from the U.S., UAE, which is United Arab Emirates, for those who don't know, Bahrain, and Israel. See on a map their approximate locations. The image is credited to the Stevens Institute. Before we go any farther, though, I do want to mention Andy Chalk was the article. You can find his link to his Twitter in the video's description. Good job, Andy. This was a great article. The U.S. government, through the State Department sponsors Stevens Initiative, is joining with the nonprofit organization Games for Change to launch a virtual exchange program for teenagers in the U.S., UAE, Bahrain, and Israel. The goal of the program, called Game Exchange, is to bring together students in a creative dialogue and collaboration based on shared interest in video games and game design. Hey, this is perfect. A lot of young people play video games. A lot of people make video games. And in fact, not even a lot of young people. A lot of people in general play video games. So we can find this shared thread. Maybe we can kind of tamper down the violence and eventually work together and become allies or even friends. The program will support 2,700 participants from grades 6 to 12 who will be put together in teams and set to work on at least 2 projects based on United Nations Sustainable Development Goal of their choice. Teachers trained in Games for Change design curriculum will guide their work. Support and feedback will be offered by mentors from academia, the games industry, and Game Exchange alumni. It's always good, that way they find out, hey, we went through this program, let's narrow your focus a little bit. Because here's the thing. When you get a bunch of kids together, especially a bunch of creative kids together, you can end up all over the place, and I'm sure they want this to be a productive thing. That being said, I'd be very interested in seeing some of the ideas before they're maybe whittled down or focused. Participants will also have the opportunity to attend a virtual and in-person, once the pandemic is over presumably, game jams. At the end of each school year, teams will submit their work to a game exchange competition, with finalists and winners announced at an awards ceremony. Would also be cool to see if those games would be put on like Steam or GOG or Epic or something with a nice, hey guys, this is what we put together. We did this. But that may require a little bit more back-end stuff and have a little bit more forward thinking than maybe the State Department allows for. But one might think that because all these kids have obviously heard of Steam and Epic and most likely GOG as well. So why not? Why not have that be like the winners are automatically put on there? Plus, it looks good, generates a lot of good PR for Steam, which God knows Steam needs it, as well as Epic and GOG. GOG's pretty good. I felt it was important to be where people are at. Former Assistant Secretary of the State for Education and Cultural Affairs, Marie Royce, who helped develop the program, told the Washington Post. Young people have something in common, and that's that they play video games. I think it's important to have initiatives around gaming. It is an opportunity to give everyone a chance to have an exchange. In creating video games, people develop tremendous skills that are involved in the industry. They're better able to think critically, develop STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics skills, and develop leadership skills. I agree. Being able to plan a project, create a project, execute the plan, that's going to take a lot of leadership and a lot of technical skills. So as we scroll down, we find more after this. Participants will include middle and high schools in Atlanta, Detroit, New York. Specific schools will be selected later. The Bahrain Ministry of Youth and Sports, Israel's Bay Barrow College, Shankar College of Engineering, Design, and Art. I'm going to wait for that. There we go. And 2454 Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. The program is set to run until June 2023. Cultural exchange programs are invaluable tools for promoting peace and understanding and development. But it seems clear that with the game exchange, they're loading way too many ads on this page. The game exchange is intended to be primarily one-way deal. Game design is an export. There's U.S. expertise that we can bring to other parts of the world. Games for Change, President Susanna Pollock said. Royce, the former Assistant Secretary of State, expressed similar sentiments. Bottom line, at the end of the day, it's all about diplomacy. All right. With that, let's go over this a little bit more. A small side note before we continue going into the game diplomacy article. PC Gamer, do you have a subscription that removes ads? Because towards the end there, I just kept getting page unresponsive while I was trying to go over your content. It was very immersion breaking. Let me know. In fact, I might even tag you in Twitter about that. But back to more important things. The goal of this program, as they said, is diplomacy. Diplomacy is creating an understanding so we can work towards mutual goals and ultimately benefit everyone. I think this is a great idea. Again, you're using soft power. We're not sending troops. We're not using violence. We're not sending sanctions. We're trying to integrate everybody and do this through cultural exchange program. It's wonderful. Also, here's the thing, right? Imagine the most creative video game you can think of. Right now, I'm going to throw out there a game that really, really blew my socks off. Hades, right? Hades. And on screen earlier, there was Disco Elysium, which is also incredibly creative. Now, those were made by studios, obviously, and teams of people. Imagine if you get people from vastly different perspectives and vastly different life experiences. They're growing up, they're told different stories, they have different fables, and then you take all that and you add that to the current game development and cultural zeitgeist, as it were. You end up with a much richer, rotund product. That's my thought there. Tell me what you think below in the comments. Do you guys think this game exchange program is a good thing? Should it go longer than until 2023? Personally, I think it should. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, you can check me out here at youtube.com/Nimicry by subscribing. You'll get regular content uploaded into your feed. I also stream on Twitch. There'll be a link across the screen now. But outside that, guys, you keep gaming, you enjoy life, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.